Hey collectors, Anthony from HNE here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Combiner Wars Ultra Prime. This is a combiner made up of Optimus Prime, Sunstreaker, Prowl, Ironhide, Mirage, and depending on who you ask, Hot Rod. Now, I got this from my buddy Moose, and when we get back, we're going to check this bad boy out. So here we have Ironhide, Sunstreaker, Optimus, Hot Rod, Prowl, and Mirage. These make up Ultra Prime, although technically anything would do because, you know, Combiner Wars. So I'm going to transform them all to their alt modes, then into their vehicle modes for transformation for the combiner, because that is pretty much where they're how do I explain this? They kind of unfold slightly from vehicle mode to become part of the combiner. And of course, any combiner comes with limbs, so, you know, the weird thing about these is, which they did, and I guess to save money, was they introduced these in Combiner Wars, which are basically dual, triple purpose, whatever. They're both feet, they're both hands, and they're both weapons of some type, so they did this for all of them. You know, it is a thing that they did to save money, because like in Titan's Return, they gave actual separate feet to the Voyagers. But anyway, so this is the what is now called Core Class Hot Rod. He is fairly simple. Assuming I can get it done. There we go. Of course, he holds his spoiler, and nothing too fancy about him. Now, the kicker is, his combined mode is literally back to his vehicle mode. So anyway, we'll put this back on him and put him aside. Now, the one thing you'll notice if you haven't messed with Combiner Wars before or anything through Titans, pretty much all transformations of all the vehicles in the similar shapes is the same. And you usually have to start with the arms and then unfold the legs in some way. There's probably going to be a few exceptions to how the legs unfold, but typically, in this case, there's a tab and a slot, and you line them up. And it does this weird thing where it kind of just hangs here, which is also like whatever. And he gets an axe. Now I would like to point out bits of this mold are like reused like Menosaur and a couple other figures. This is Motormaster and Menosaur's figure. This is Drag Strip. This is one of them. I can't remember, or maybe it's two of them. Whatever. He's Blackjack in the Menosaur mold, but very simple Ironhide. And now we're going to put him in the combiner mode. And combiner port ends up being this for the hands. Now, as we are doing this as a foot, I got to decide the pieces I want to be the foot, and they're all different. So I guess I'll do this one as a foot. And this will be the front. I'll stick it over here. And yeah, depending which foot it is, you can stick the weapon on the side and you don't really got to worry about it. So then on the Sunstreaker, kind of the same dealio. Of course, he gets a weapon. I am not 100% sure this is his weapon, but I'm also 100% sure I got this top piece wrong. Because there is not a free range of movement here, like maybe like this, I don't know. But that's Sunstreaker. He got a nice head sculpt, so I'll give him that. And then we do kind of a half-butted vehicle form. And let's grab a foot. Is it? As I say, the blue one there is Mirage, and we're gonna assume this is going to be the. I guess it doesn't matter. The right foot. Okay. Since I have Mirage's claw down here, so I'll make him the. Maybe the left arm, and then that would imply I'm making Prowl the right. So he is fairly easy. Pull arms out, separate the legs. And here we go. Here's the legs like folding in. And here's what Mirage looks like in this form. Not my favorite looking Mirage. Obviously the ones done in the War for Cybertron are much better. But, you know, it's Mirage. We'll take him apart. Now, when we do arms, we kind of have to do a kind of leave the segment open dealio. And then we just toss his hand on. And just for storage, we'll stick his weapon here. So there's the left side. And this peg does not want to stay in. Here we go. Let's try that again. Okay. Here's Prowl. And if you look at these things and start noticing common parts, it's because they not everything uses the same exact parts, unless they're like duplicates, like Streetwise. Streetwise, that was his name. Streetwise is a duplicate of him, except in different colors, but the parts are the same. But there are a lot of parts that are the same throughout. And another common trait is rotate the waist, and you get, you know, this front pelvis way. So if you don't rotate the waist and then something drags or doesn't transform correctly. But we are going to go and move him into his combiner form, which requires putting his head back into the piece here, if I can get it. Pull out the limb. I'm going to switch this around. Here, put the hand on. I don't like the hollowness on the bottom here, but you know, no choice in the matter. So here is what we're going to use for the right hand. So here is Optimus. He has two guns mounted on the back, which can be wielded individually and combined. And this is a mold copy of Motormaster. So there is all the parts you need for the combiner in this mold. And the non-combiner parts end up being just an annoying backpack, as you can kind of see here, because his head's inside of here, and here's the fanny pack belt thing. Yeah. And of course, as I mentioned before, he gets these two guns. And so this one's reminiscent of his normal blaster. And he's just weirdly swivelly waisty because of his combiner mode. Kind of just hugging its back right here. It's a whole lot of on. But yeah, I mean, it looks like Optimus, especially in the face. But let's move on to the combiner bit. So first things first, these weapons combine. A little exhaust pipe here that kind of tells you where to line them up at. So it becomes like just a sniper rifle. And as anybody knows, the one thing Optimus is known for is taking out people from a distance. That was a joke. He doesn't do that. Okay, now it's time to combine him. So first things first, we're going to start with some feet. So we picked 2 feet. We have Sunstreaker and Ironhide. And simply slide them in. Slide them in, and they do not actually lock into place. That would be too good. And now for the arms, simply the same. Actually, before I do that, is there a place I can put his gun? Yeah, there is. Okay. And for Mirage, I have to say that Menasor is a lot more sturdy. Not that there's any difference in mold, maybe it's just because of weight distribution, I don't know. But of course you can add the gun. And then the reason why Hot Rod is an option is because at the bottom he has these 2 ports. And I don't know if he does it with the grill on or not. But he can become a chest plate. And that is pretty much Ultra Prime. Here's his back. That is not pretty at all. Like, I think it would have been cool if they had like some type of clip for these pieces, but they don't. And if they do, I don't see them. But obviously if they lock these in, and here we go, back around. And this is Ultra Prime. Now, for the longest time, I kept thinking Omega Prime, but he's from the Robots in Disguise series from 2001-ish. And so I think the conception behind this particular combiner was something doing with IDW comic books. But I also kind of remember in G1 there was a fake combiner, which used Optimus and a number of his soldiers. So I think it's kind of just fan service on both ends. But let me know in the comments what you thought of Ultra Prime. Thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.